This is one of the books for me. Opened whole new world and gave new upside down perspective on life. A new idea was planted in my head. Revolutionary. There is God and He is loving. I was raised in Roman Catholic conservative surrounding, and the only God that was introduced to me was strict, punishing, revengeful. The one who is everywhere and sees everything and judges everybody. I was so uncomfortable with sees everything part that I had serious issues with some basic things in my life because I thought they were too mundane and undignified for God to witness, like going to the bathroom, for example. I was obsessed with being perfect and clean for God to the extent that on my first confession, right before my first communion, at the age of 8.5, I confessed to the priest that I had committed a sin of fornication. The alleged sin occurred when I was approximately 5, and me and my 5-year-old friends were showing each other our private parts. For educational purposes, of course. I didn't like that God, but I was afraid of Him. I found Him self-obsessed, unjust, condescending, cruel, pretentious, vain. He has us in this game where we have no chance of winning. He looks at us as we were mice in a trap, probably having good laughs. Who can live up to His standards? Whatever you do is a sin, and if not a sin, it's simply not good enough. You have to put Him first, give everything you have to others. If someone hits you, you shouldn't defend yourself. If someone steals from you, you shouldn't ask it back. If you're wrongly accused, you should forgive. And this is all God's way to help us in I don't know what. In my mind, those were all oxymorons. Priests, religious teachers, and religious classes didn't help at all. In fact, they only made things worse. Religious teachers would say I didn't understand and that I had to believe. I fought with God, priests, beliefs, and not beliefs until I was about 14, and then I decided to give up. And I declared I was an atheist. I didn't go to church anymore. I found priests hypocrites, good at preaching but bad at practicing what they preach. I found rituals performed during services childish and boring. So God and I split. Until I read Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, and God came back to my life. What a revelation. What a shock. Paramahansa Yogananda explained God, Jesus Christ, and Bible to me better than all religious classes I've heard in my life together. He's talking about his life, yet it's not about him and his life, but about everybody's life. He's talking about his experiences, yet it is about everybody's experiences. So I went back to read New Testament again, and I fell in love with Jesus Christ. What a relief to find out there is only one God, one and only for everybody. No need to fight over whose God is stronger and worth following and fighting for. This newly discovered God doesn't want us to fight at all, because we are all His beloved children. The rich and the poor, white and black, young and old, men and women, straight and gay, good and bad, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, atheists, agnostics. He doesn't care. This God loves me, just as He loves everybody else. I'm important to this God, and so is everybody else. I don't mind being one of many. I don't struggle to be special to this God, for I know Him loving others doesn't make Him love me less. I don't have to do anything for Him to love me. He's the only one who loves like that, unconditionally. He doesn't punish. He provides lessons and holds our hand as we navigate through them. He doesn't judge. He waits for us to realize change is needed. He wants us to remember who we really are, beloved children of God, and as such we are entitled to joy. He wants us to take off our blindfolds. We came from perfection, infinity, love, and we are called to come back to it. We are God's little fireflies, unaware of our light, separated from Him by a thin veil of our own mind. We are so eager to be unique and better. We are so competitive that we refuse to see we are part of something greater. We are all connected, and what affects one of us affects us all. We are never going to be saved until each one of us is saved. Therefore, anybody's and everybody's salvation is as important as mine. I am you, and you are me, brothers and sisters. I was you, and you were me. We walked in each other's shoes. Therefore, we can understand and forgive. And when I forgive you, I forgive myself. When I'm gentle with you, I'm gentle with myself. When I love you, I love myself. How amazing it is, and how simple. If we could only stop this madman of our mind, conditioned and trained and tamed, if we could shut it down to see that everything is here, and we are here, and God is here. No additional skills needed, no more knowledge needed, nor working harder. Whatever we have works. Praying, meditating, singing, painting, running, creating, writing, molding, gardening, hiking. But the calling is always the same, innate to all of us, quieting the mind. We may not know what we are doing or why we are doing it, but our soul recognizes that calm when our mind is tranquil. That's when we are closest to God. That's why it feels so good and addictive. We have to do nothing in order to gain everything. If only doing nothing wasn't the hardest thing ever. Quote, "You may control a mad elephant. You may shut the mouth of the bear and the tiger, ride the lion and play with the cobra. By alchemy, you may learn your livelihood. You may wander through the universe incognito, make vassals of the gods, be ever youthful. You may walk in water and live in fire. But control of the mind is better and more difficult." End of quote.